If you're looking for some great fingerstyle songs for beginners to learn, then in this video I want to share with you 10 that could be potentially perfect for you. Obviously, everyone's situation is different, but these songs are based on more of what I would call picking pattern songs. So they don't require a ton of fingerstyle independence. You'll learn little patterns and then work them through the tunes. And I've tried to start off with easier ones and then move up to more advanced ones. We're going to talk more about that fingerstyle independence later on in this video. But these songs are good for beginner players, and they're also good for advanced players too, because one, they're just fun to play, and two, working on simple patterns is a great way to tune up your finger picking hand and just get it really, kind of just working like a well-oiled machine as you play through these songs. Now, before we get into the tunes, I want to define fingerstyle for you as I see it, and that'll help you approach these examples. So I think of it as anytime you're playing without a pick that takes up two fingers. So if you play with a standard flat pick and then maybe you're trying to hybrid pick with your other fingers, I don't really consider that fingerstyle because you're tied up here. You're using a flat pick, and so you've occupied two fingers to hold your pick. But if you play with a thumb pick, now I've got all these other fingers free. If you play with finger picks, if you play with nails or no nails, then all of those are what I would consider fingerstyle, and that's how I would approach these songs. So the first one is from a 1971 album from Mr. Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. It sounds like this. So that's the basic groove, and what's crazy is 3 is the magic number with this song. You only need 3 chords, and you can play those chords with 3 fingers in your fretting hand, and you only need 3 fingers in your finger picking hand. Now this is a powerful groove here. The basic idea is you play a bass note and then you have this pinch of other notes in the chord. So you can apply this to any chord progression you want, like there's another song, Hey There Delilah, right? That uses this same kind of bass note chord approach, and it's great for singer-songwriters. If you sing and you want to accompany yourself, give this technique a try. So that's number 1, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Number 2 is in the style of We're Going to Be Friends by the White Stripes. So the basic idea here is an alternating octave. So if you have a G chord here and you play the G bass note and then you play the note up the octave and you just use 2 fingers and you go, get a really cool sound, and you can mix in other notes. You can do different chords, same idea. So just that simple alternating octave idea is a great sound. Now, if you've struggled to play fingerstyle patterns like this, then I want to give you a gift. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fingerstylejumpstart, and you can grab this free PDF guide I put together that shows you 5 powerful finger picking exercises that are guaranteed to whip your finger picking hand in shape in record time. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fingerstyle jumpstart and grab that now as my gift to you. Number 3 builds on these ideas. This time we're going to use a capo on the 2nd fret, and this is a powerful fingerstyle guitar tool because you can take all your chords, your easy chords, C, D, the Campfire chords, and you can move it up with a capo and get all kinds of new sounds. Here's what this riff sounds like. It's a very beginner-friendly song, and you can see some of those same ideas where I'm hitting a bass note and then pinching these other strings, like in the Bill Withers example. Number 4 is Blackbird by the Beatles, and one time I had a student who was trying to learn this song for 14 years, and he couldn't get it because he was just being led wrong in how to play it, and I showed him how to play it in 2 days, and he was super stoked. And the idea is that you can't approach it like a lot of players go, you know, and try to play like a fancy finger picking pattern, almost like it was classical or something. But Paul McCartney didn't play it that way. He played it in more of a folk brushing style that sounds like this. I would consider that one a must-know for every fingerstyle guitar player. Number 4 is Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Now for this one, we're gonna put a capo on the 3rd fret, and a lot of players call it Travis picking, but I would call it Travis-inspired picking. It sounds like this. So we've got a simple progression here, just walking down. And the interesting thing is it's in the key of G, but it starts on C. So I'm just capoed up there. Now, if it was Merle Travis, it would be more like, it would have more of a ragtime piano feel, kind of like, instead of, right? So Travis picking really comes from Merle Travis, and if you listen to his style, it's a very different approach. But here you have kind of a inspired by with a little bit of an alternating bass, right? Going from the, like that, going from the 5th string to the 4th string. Number 6 is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, and this was written by Jimmy Cox. It goes all the way back to 1923. There's been a lot of great versions of this, and it's an 8-bar blues progression. So this gives you an example of how you can finger pick in the blues style. Here's an example of that. I love that progression because it's a bluesy progression, but it's not all just the 1-4-5. It's a little bit more of a complex chord progression and an 8-bar blues. Combine that with some finger picking and you can get some great sounds. Number 7 sounds like this. Dust in the Wind. Now this is actually probably the most difficult one that we've seen so far. I definitely don't recommend this as your first fingerstyle guitar song. A lot of people say, oh, it's a great beginner song, but it's actually pretty difficult to play. You need, 3 fingers going in the finger picking hand and then getting it up to speed and having that control and playing the chord changes all clean takes quite a bit of work. So I would suggest, again, working on some of these songs I've talked about earlier in this video first, but this is a classic, definitely a good one to know. Number 8 is another great finger picking tune. The most famous version was probably done by the Mamas and Papas, sung by Mama Cass in 1968. Here's what it sounds like. Dream a Little Dream of Me. This is a great example of blending some folksy style finger picking with some more advanced jazz chords, right? Like you've got this sort of C here up to a F sharp diminished to A flat 13, G 13. Those aren't common folk chords, but you put that together with some folk finger picking and you get a great sound. Number 9 is a magnificent finger picking song. This one comes from Paul Simon. The story goes as he wrote it in his parents' bathroom. He was feeling a little bit disillusioned with the world and went into the bathroom, turned out the lights to focus, and came up with this riff. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Number 10 is the one that requires the most fingerstyle independence. It's a classic old folk song originally written by Elizabeth Cotten called Freight Train. It sounds like this. So you can see there that my thumb is playing one part and then I've got some rhythm and a melody all happening at the same time. So the thumb is going like this. Then I have some chords that come in with it. And then you have a melody that you play on top of all of that. So that requires more training with your finger picking hand, but once you start unlocking more and more levels, then you can really start sounding like a full band all by yourself. Now, if you've struggled with this, then go to johnmclennan.com/fingerstylejumpstart and grab my free finger picking PDF guide. This is going to show you 5 powerful exercises that are guaranteed to whip your finger picking hand into shape in record time. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fingerstylejumpstart and grab that as my gift to you. Hope you enjoyed these 10 songs, and if you like this video, you might like this video next.